Hello, Billy. How are you, sir?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, we're doing well. We want to introduce you to our new addition. Aaron, go ahead and say the name.
Caledon.
No,
Yes.
really.
Yes.
Wow.
He is
Hello,
5 months old.
Caledon.
Yep.
Hi, son. Hello, namesake.
Oh.
Hey.
He's very excited. So he was waiting a while. So
Hello, son.
Walk him around a little bit.
yeah, Aaron's gonna walk him around a little bit. But I just wanted to ask how you were doing. We're the couple you met last year from Valparaiso, Indiana, near your old stomping
Valpo.
grounds of Chicago.
Oh,
So.
fantastic. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again too. Real quick, I wanted to ask you a question. Since the last time we chatted, there's so many movies that you've been in that we're fans of, and we know, unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman passed away last year, and we know you got to work with them in that film, The Kill Hole. So I just wanted to ask you a little bit about what it was like working with him and what kind of guy he was off screen.
Thank you. Very, very interesting question. Very appreciative of it. He was an amazing fellow. As thoughtful as he appears on screen, is his nature. He brought a lot of that to his characters, as I found, because I saw much more of his work. I didn't know his work before doing that film.
Mhm.
And then, out came all these amazing movies, and I understood, when we worked together on screen, he was certainly talented and engaging. But then you just saw the scope of where that could go.
Yeah.
As he made some really impressive films.
Yeah, 42,
good.
I was a big fan of, obviously, Black Panther. So he's done a lot of good stuff, and I'm glad you got the chance to work with him. And it's nice hearing stories about him. I'm a teacher, and a lot of my students were big fans of his. So it's really cool to be able to chat with you and kind of learn a little bit more about him and, just what kind of actor he was, because you watch the documentaries, you hear all these good stories about him. So is there anything else you can share about him on set that you were able to remember well?
We had, one of the more significant sequences we had was in the interview scenes with the veterans, where that sequence, and that was scheduled to be just part of the morning, and they had scripted some of the testimonials, but they cast real vets from 3 theaters of war through the years, right?
Wow, that's incredible.
And we realized very quickly that the stories that were happening between action and cut were far more engaging and poignant and relevant.
Wow.
So we were, Chadwick and I just were like, all right, let's just tell them to roll. Like, you guys, so we're going to freeze. So we went freestyle, and we let the vets just talk as if about because they have their dialogue, but it didn't even scratch the surface of what was really going on with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we ended up turning this thing became like I'm not an accredited psychologist, but you use your instincts and talk about, whatever, and certainly given advice through the years to, folks, but it was a kind of a freestyle session.
Got it.
That we shot for the most of the day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was a healing experience.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most profound things I had done in my career, to be honest.
That's incredible. And speaking of, you talked about, working with the veterans, that goes back to Memphis Belle. Obviously, we love that movie. How involved were, did you have any involvement with the veterans in the making of that film as well?
The original crew, much of which were still alive, came to visit set. They were old gentlemen.
Wow.
With their wives. They flew them all out, and they came to Lincolnshire. The character that I was playing, Val, was the one who had perished after the war.
Correct. Yes.
Private plane accident.
Yeah.
He married quite well, and was quite the gentleman, and unfortunately did not survive a private plane crash.
Yeah.
He was not present, but I got great stories about him from his mates.
Absolutely. That's incredible. That's incredible. Does anything else really stand out about making Memphis Belle, as far as, you were in there with quite a lot of actors that, went on to, make a little bit of name for themselves as well. What stands out about that film for you? besides the veteran stuff, obviously.
Well, when we, they had a few of the planes that went up. They had 4 that could fly
Okay.
from different countries, and we went the first day we gathered. It was the 4th of July, which I thought was unique.
Oh wow, that's so
We all
incredible.
went up
Yeah.
in a flight on the 4th of July. We flew, and I remember we had 2 planes that went up,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember filming Super 8, like William Wyler's footage.
Yeah.
From the cockpit, which we weren't supposed to take off from the nose.
Okay.
Underneath the
Okay.
cockpit, because if there's an incident, you got to be able to jump out that waist gunner door.
Okay.
And I didn't know. I was under a trap door. I was lying on the glass. I was and
Yeah.
I only found out afterwards that was a big no. You only go there once you're up.
Yeah.
I ended up instinctively doing a shot that was like in the Wyler documentary, that pulls back as the plane lifts out of shadow and then flies over the coast.
Oh,
and I remember filming Eric Stoltz, with his red hair sticking out of like the, out of the window. It was like an open window on the side.
That's so cool.
On the side of this fortress.
Yeah.
We, all those cats went on to do amazing work. And
Absolutely.
Prior,
Yes.
I had worked with Eric before in Back to the Future.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was a phenomenal experience. Filming in Pinewood, when Sean Connery was making Russia House, and getting lunch in the rooms where he had done all those Bonds films, that doubled for so many sets while he was there, was iconic and memorable, and very special time of my life.
That's really amazing. And, that film really touched us because her dad is a Vietnam veteran. My grandfather is a World War II veteran. So thank you so much for Memphis Belle. That was a fantastic film.
Thank them for their service if they're still around.
I really appreciate that. Our last question here to kind of wrap up. I just wanted to, we've been talking for the past couple of years, and obviously we have our son here, Caledon, big Titanic fan. So this was my idea. I just want to pitch this to you, and just kind of to see what you think about it.
Sure.
So I think with all these streaming shows that are out there now, like The Crown and Bridgerton, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Titanic Origins series where you go back and you look at the history of the characters? Like you take Rose and you find out how her father passed away and what situation she got in with Cal. You kind of look at Cal coming from the steel tycoon industry. Then you kind of look at the history of the ship. Then you have Jack in there who you see him and his artist career before he won the tickets. And then finally you tie it in with history, how the ship was being built, how Mr. Andrews designed it. You go back and you intertwine that in with the characters. I just think that would be a cool series for like a streaming service. Don't you think so?
So, people have been trying to crack how to get milk more out of that story.
Yes.
Anyway, what could it possibly be?
Yeah.
I've heard talk of, that fantasy certainly bandied about, but you are not alone in your desire for more.
Yeah.
It would be, I think there'd be a vast audience who I agree would be very hungry for that.
100%. 100%.
But it'd be tricky to execute to some degree. And I think at some point it wouldn't be beyond them to consider such a thing.
Yeah, with so many different shows coming out and the popularity of them, especially on all these streaming services, there, as you know, I saw Dominic's feed with all the pictures you're signing at the con. There's still a huge fan base for Titanic. We will always love it, and we hope this little guy finds out his origin story as well. So
I can't wait to meet him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
someday.
we want you to come back to Chicago. So
I'll be there soon, I imagine.
Awesome.
I was there not long ago, but it would be great to let's hopefully Lollapalooza hasn't forced another lockdown.
it's crazy. She still goes into the city every day, so for work, and it's getting crazy still, but hopefully people will remain safe and do what we can over here. So
Keep up the great work, and congrats on that little fella.
oh,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
All right, he's gonna say bye. Say bye, Mr. Zane.
Bye, Cal.
Thank you, Billy, and thank you,
Good.
Dominic, for hosting this. And we hope to
Yes,
chat with you again soon and see you in person in Chicago
I look
sometime.
forward to it. Don't be strangers.
All right,
won't.
take care. Thank you so
Stay
much.
safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.